what's going on, y'all? T-Bob here.
And Jake as well.
And you're about to watch a little OTB LSU.
We're going to give you all the latest, greatest between LSU football, baseball, women's basketball, softball, and everything in between.
Bottom line, if you want to talk Tigers, keep it locked, subscribe, like it, and we hope you enjoy. LSU, massive recruiting win yesterday as five-star corner DJ Pickett, a guy who's the number one corner in the nation according to On 3, number 3 player overall, Jake. If you do the industry rankings, which is their composite, right, with all the major recruiting services, he's a number 2 ranked corner in the entire country. He's the number 6 player overall. Like, this is as heralded, as high of a recruit as you will get in this business. And it's like I said the other day, man. When you get these big-time recruiting wins, they are great for the team because players like this are nearly sure things, right? Yeah. Now, the level of the surety can be variable and how high they are. Do they take a longer? But they're nearly sure things in terms of being really good and be contributors their entire career. But also, I feel like symbolically, this is a massive win as well because, as we'll get to in the quotes from Pickett, it really solidifies Corey Raymond and what he's been able to do here, why you rehired him, why you worked so hard to bring him back into the fold.
Times, right.
And after Oregon coming in, taking to Corey and Moore, winning the battle for Dorian Brew, and then all of the smoke in the street that they were going to be the Pickett pick, is a nice little thumbing of the nose at Phil Knight and the Ducks that LSU emerged as the winner here.
Oh, it's a huge win because this isn't someone from the state of Louisiana. It's not somebody with ties to Louisiana where you're going to get him and it's like, gosh, why do we get him? How do we get him? It's obviously like down the road you don't care, but it's like, okay, well, why and how did we get this player? And you got this player because of Corey Raymond. So that makes you feel really good. And it also makes you feel really good that you got this player that plays DB when you're trying to get back to your standard. And you can go into Florida. So why I say, like, he's not from Louisiana, this wasn't an easy one. You go to the state of Florida, a place that is hard as anywhere to go get somebody from other schools, and it shows that you still got that juice. You still have that power to go get a defensive player. Now, you've got Bryce Underwood. You've got Harlem Berry. Right? You've gotten the offensive guys because, well, over the last couple of years, you've been one of the best offenses in the country. This is a big win because of who it is, where it is, and where you currently sit.
Yeah, that's it's interesting because it sounds like the recruiting pitch to Pickett was the same as Brian Kelly's recruiting pitch to Bo Davis, which was when they were getting Bo Davis over from Texas, basically said, "Look, man, we want you to be the architect of remaking the LSU defensive line to where it, to its glory days of the past, right? And we're going to empower you to make it in your image. You're going to have a lot of autonomy when doing so." Well, in the same way, Corey Raymond is pitching DJ Pickett on, look, we need you to restore the glory of DBU and bring LSU's defensive backs back to where they once were. Here are a couple of Pickett quotes that I want to read that reinforce your point, Jake, about how Raymond-centric this all is. And this is him talking about the other teams. "I wish him the best, but I'm at LSU now. If you are a DB and Coach Raymond is at LSU, I feel that's the right place to be at." That tells you everything right there. That's just quick, simple, to the point. I actually love it, too. If you're a DB and Raymond's at LSU, okay, easy. The math, I mean, it's 2 plus 2. Damian Pickett, his father, told On 3, quote, "Corey Raymond, the defensive backs, the history of the defensive backs, the location, Baton Rouge is in a great location, the school is, and it's just the Corey Raymond factor. And it's defensive back DBU, that's a big factor for LSU. The fact they've developed so many DBs. Corey Raymond developed so many DBs at the school. The recruiting is in the pudding. There are so many greats that played at LSU. I'd say history as far as LSU. So it is a mixture of the tradition there and what that means culturally. And then Corey Raymond, who was, a lot of the kind of at the source of a lot of that tradition. Then it's just Corey Raymond, man. Corey Raymond, look, this is why you hired him. And look, you had You have Bo Davis landing guys, and you have Corey Raymond landing guys. Kevin Peoples, he landed that Shanklin, that really good top 100 edge rusher, July 5th. And then Shanklin just shut it down yesterday and said, I'm not taking any more official. Like, I am 1,000% committed. Nobody talks to me.
You know, something we probably don't talk enough about is the communication and recruiting. The prior defensive staff, what did they really struggle with? Communicating with the current players.
Oh, yeah, that's true, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Vibing with the current players, having that relationship. Probably was the same thing a little bit in recruiting.
I mean, how could it not be?
Right? If that's not a skill set that you have, and it's showing that it's actually going the complete opposite way of where you wanted it to go on the field with your current players, well, what do we know about Corey Raymond and Bo Davis and Blake Baker? What have we talked about with Blake Baker? Right? You have him on. It's just a different field. Like the communication and him being a part of it. Well, that's going to show up in recruiting as well. I hadn't even really thought about it, but
I never
makes
thought
a lot of sense.
No, it's a very good point. That somehow just kind of went unseen or unrecognized by us. So already you're getting immediate dividends for all the investment that you made in changing over this defensive staff. And look, I think the most immediate dividends will just come in the play this fall. Again, I can't shake this. Mizzou, pre-Baker, outside the top 100, immediately 33rd and 33rd when they got him. I see no reason why LSU shouldn't have a like that. Why that shouldn't be the goal is to be top 40. You're playing the same competition, and even though maybe like Mizzou was stronger in some spots and you were weaker in some spots, it's not like I can't sit here and accept that Mizzou was just like somehow like way more talented than you at the time. No.
Right.
So I think you'll see the most immediate dividends on the actual field come fall time, but you don't necessarily pay a D-line coach $1.5 million for his technique work, right? Or Corey Raymond for his technique work. That's great, and that's huge, massive part of it. But it's getting these players in here, man. And like Jake said, it's all about forming relationships. So massive win for Corey Raymond, this LSU staff, a validation of the investment in some ways. And look, there may be some new I want to get into the baseball news as well next, but there may be some a new name entering the mix as 5-star Texas safety, or out of Texas, Jonah Williams is thought to be one of the next battlegrounds, Jake. He's a Galveston native.
Yeah.
And LSU and A&M are thought to be the major two players here. Here's a key piece, though, that we'll see factor in when we talk baseball next. He's interested in playing baseball and football. So what does the coaching change at A&M do to potentially affect that situation?
Wow, Jake, what incredible takes. I mean, those guys, they're just the best.
I think so. And if you think so, again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post every single day here on OTB LSU.